Did you guys get all that? It's a lot. Wow. It's 8:50. Let's keep it in the KUAM News Zoom room where a little bit of catch up here with Republican Senator Telo Taitague. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Chris, and good morning, Sabrina and Jason, the KUAM family. Good morning.
Right on. It's been a minute since we got you on, so I guess we'll just start. There was something about a little bit of a shakeup in the Republican leadership at the legislature. Are you able to confirm any of that?
A shakeup.
Yeah.
A shakeup. Well, definitely a turn of leadership. Yeah, that's for sure. There was a turn of leadership, yes, earlier, and it was voted by the caucus to make that change. And, and that's basically what happened. So there's nothing more than that. I think Senator Moylan, made his remarks earlier, or, he sent out a press release. The caucus, the Republican caucus, sent out their press release. And, so I guess everybody had their 2 cents. And then I think I mentioned in an interview yesterday, that, it really boiled down for me to the lack of confidence. And I really believe that a minority leader is a team leader. I don't mind if somebody wants to, put themselves first, but that's not what is required of this position. And I think Minority Leader Senator, Chris Duenas is going to do a great job. He's focused on the party. He's focused on putting our initiatives through. And there's going to be a lot of confidence and trust in him, I think.
Let's just back this up.
Back this thing up. Whoa there. To quote the legendary philosopher. I got to quote the legendary philosopher Juvenile and back that thing up. Whoa there.
Okay, Sabrina, you first.
Go ahead.
It kind of sounded like you're saying that Senator Moylan was in it for himself. Not not representing the entire Republican minority in the legislature.
Not being a team player kind of sounds like what you said there.
Yeah.
There's everybody's going to have their own initiatives to put forward. We're all individuals. That's number one. The hardest thing is to try and get those people with strong-minded individuals together. But, the core root of the Republican Party and what it stands for, is the true people party, is going to be difficult for a minority leader. In fact, you have to put away some of your own initiatives in order to work on the caucus and putting out one message. It also requires that individual to, recruit individuals because it's about gaining the majority next term too, as well. And that's just as important. But what I'm saying here is that, it wasn't being met that way by Senator Moylan. I mean, we all know he's a very busy guy writing letters, and going to all these events. And I think that, this allows him to do what he's been doing these last 2 years. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention is that at the very beginning, when we all decided on who would sit in this position, we all agreed that anybody running for governor or lieutenant governor should not sit in this position because it only creates a better playing field for that individual. I mean, what if we have another person in the caucus who wants to run for governor? It's not unfair. And anyways, their initiatives are totally different. That's a different mountain to climb versus putting the caucus first. And it's a very selfless job, And I'm just happy that Senator Chris Duenas took that job. Not a lot of us want it,
You didn't want it?
That.
Hold on, Senator. Hold on, Senator. Sorry. Guys, there's traffic backed up from DMV area down to the Harmon traffic light. We got a picture there, Mike. We can pop that up. Thank you to my friend Rabbit. That's not his real name, but thanks for sending that in. So just a heads up, you're going to get a lot of traffic there. Back to you, Senator. No, I'm saying that you had been the minority leader, right? But you had told us late last year that you weren't going to seek that position again.
Right, and I'm not seeking governorship either, just to put it out there as well.
So process of elimination, Telo is out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not one of those, that were mentioned. But yeah, no, it is a very difficult job. I have a couple initiatives that I want to work very hard on, and that's the medical malpractice arbitration, as well as the capturing the use tax. That's something that's been dear to my heart, as well. Trying to find that 65 million to help customs and quarantine. Is it 65 that they're saying, or 45 million that's not being captured according to the OPA report? And there are other initiatives. And, I really take to heart when people call me and say, tell it to Telo. When they come up with their issues, it's funny because they'll say, they'll tell me their issue and they say, and I'm telling it to Telo. So it takes a lot of work, to write the letters and to assist individuals when they need help. So yeah, being a minority leader, putting that on top of the plate, it becomes very difficult. This will be Chris's very first time being a minority leader. Right. So, and so far he's doing a great job. He's keeping us abreast of everything and allowing the caucus to say their 2 cents. But I tell you what, one thing, for me, my hat's off to him, because you have people like Frank Bloss, Joanne Brown, Tony Adams, myself, who's not easy to get along with. I know that. Yeah. And to try to wrestle up, and then, so we're very strong-headed individuals. So my hats off to him, and I'll try and be a good caucus person.
Well, too late, because you just you broke all the rules of the caucus. But Senator, what about Senator Moylan?
Well, you know what? And I have to tell you, Chris, I told my caucus that. I said, I might not be a very, good steward, but I have no ill intentions to hurt anybody, but to tell the truth.
Oh, we're all adults here.
And that's all I'm not very politically savvy to run around the questions or stuff. I'm a person that, Sabrina, straight, blunt, to the point.
Yeah. So who's running for governor? Who's running for lieutenant governor?
I don't know for who's running for sure.
Who's talking about it?
I know that Frank Bloss has mentioned it to me. And of course, I've heard the rumors for Jim Moylan, that he's planning on running too. So that's all I've heard so far on the Republican side. I heard a little rumor that Dr. Mike Cruz might put his hat in there. That's a rumor. Okay, people, that's a rumor.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that happening, because I think he's gotten very close with the governor as part of the response to the pandemic.
Well, I'm definitely grateful for where he's at right now and leading us through this pandemic. He's done a great job, along with the other doctors that have assisted this administration that probably don't get enough credit for it. So my hat's off to them.
Senator Duane said there was like 3 to 5. What did he say? How many people did he say were trying to seek higher office in the minority?
Well, I think he said 3 to 5 it could be, but like any party, that's wishful thinking, and you put it out there in the universe and hopefully it happens, hopefully it does. But yeah, I think that's all I know who I think is running.
Okay, so how was the caucus, Senator?
I want to know who's running. I want to know who's running on the Democrat side.
What have you heard? What have you heard?
I don't know. You guys are always the first to know before I am. So
I heard nobody.
Have you guys heard anything?
I heard nobody's running on the Democrat side.
Wow, that's a disappointment.
It is what it is. Ooh.
Oh, I knew it. I knew you guys were going to say
I see an opening. I take it, Senator. But just real quick, because I know session is coming up.
Oh no, it's not till 2:00.
Oh,
2:00.
okay. So we'll just take our time then.
Yeah. Okay.
What about this gambling thing? So, I heard you like to play cards, and there was a rumor going around that there's one of the senators is somehow involved with this online gambling app. We asked the speaker about it earlier on the show. She said she hasn't heard anything at all. Have you heard anything? And I mean, I guess, do you play that app, or have you heard of any of the colleagues who?
Okay. Well, I like to think myself as two things: techie, which I'm not, and good at playing cards, which I'm not as well. I'd like to think both. So no, I'm not involved. Just FYI, everybody, I'm not involved with this gambling, gambling app at all. As far as playing cards, of course, I enjoy playing it, but I'm not very good at it. I played at the carnival. I started playing at the carnival when they had those during the liberation, and play with some friends. I like to play a thing called Tongue It's. I don't know if you're familiar with this game called Tongue. It's just two people and yourself. It's a lot of fun. It's like Jim Rummy. I prefer that. And I've gone, if I gambled, sure. I've gone to, like I said, the carnival. I've gone to play bingo with my aunt, who forces me sometimes to go and play with her, play bingo. But yeah, but you know, this whole thing with the app, playing online, I'm looking forward to the Secret Service, according to the oversight hearing that we had with public safety.
Right. Yeah.
That the Secret Service is involved. I hope the FBI as well. And if you're using any kind of internet or anything like that, they'll find out. I mean, if hackers can go in there, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have people working in the the Secret Service who can actually go in and find out your routine on your phone or using the internet at all times. But no, I've never played online or this app thing. I've never played. So just to let you know, as far as this other person, you're probably asking me, do I know if anybody else in the legislature?
Yeah,
no,
gosh.
I don't.
You don't?
In fact, I don't know if anybody else in the legislature even plays bingo. I don't think anybody else does, but that's pretty much it. I know it sounds boring, but sorry, that's all I got. If I know something, I will tell you.
I know.
I will definitely tell you.
That
If
should be
people
your,
are telling it to Telo, then Telo will tell it to you.
That's it. That should be our other slogan. Telo will tell you.
That's true.
All right, I think you're good, Bree.
So no Texas Hold'em?
It's become such a sport nowadays, and there's a lot of people who actually fly to the Philippines to participate in these tournaments, and even go to Vegas and participate in these tournaments. It's almost, it's becoming an ESPN moment on TV. You can watch it. It's become almost like a sport. It is a sport in some way, but no, I'm not that good. I do enjoy playing, but I do it for fun.
What about the 27 pages of sole source emergency procurement? I think we had just about every Republican on except for you to talk about this. Have you gone through that, and are you anticipating that this is going to mean that you guys are going to get tough about how the Gov is going to spend that $600 million?
Actually, yes. In fact, we even spoke about it yesterday during session as we were talking about the refinancing of the bond that's coming up. The question I asked Lester Carlson is, will some of that $661 million be able to pay for the obligation of a bond that we have out there? And he says they still don't know how they're able to spend this funding. But as far as the sole servicing, documents that came out with all these individuals, there definitely has to be an accountability and transparency to it. One of the things that we're missing was itemizing what was it used for. But I think Senator Sabina Perez, who not only is the oversight chair on procurement, but has actually taken the class at GCC, unlike any of us have done. But she's looking into it to find some ways that we can, even during an emergency or sole procuring, that it's done in a open and transparent way, and put mechanisms in place. Still get those 3 quotes that are required, and what 3 quotes are there? I think it's needed. But what I'm planning on doing too is I have a draft legislation I've introduced to several of my colleagues, as well as some Democrats, to look at a way to oversee the spending of the $661 million. We kind of lost track when the first funding came in for the 117. We should have done that at the very beginning before we received it, to put some guidelines in place for the governor to be more transparent, and as well as procurement policies that would go with it. So hopefully I'll get this bill out real soon, and to put those guidelines in place so that everybody, everyone can see how she's spending that $661 million, but most especially for the legislature, because we have a budget bill. If she's going to spend money in one area, then it tells us how much we need to, appropriate for that particular agency. So yeah, there's a lot of work into that. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure.
Anything else? Okay.
I wanted to ask, is card gambling illegal?
According to the law, from what I gather, social gambling is not illegal. You'll see it in the Guam Code annotated. I think it's under rev and tax, where social gambling, like, remember during the time when we had those wakes and funerals where, our family would be all night under the pala pala playing cards, and there's nothing in the law that says you can't socially play cards, social gambling. Nothing in that. I think where it's considered gambling is if you make a profit from it, who's ever hosting it.
Do you host any card games?
No. No. I've gone to, they've actually had, remember the time they had a couple Texas Hold'em for fundraisers? And they used Texas Hold'em as a fundraising mechanism. So I think, I don't know how they, I remember it was down at the Hilton one time when they hosted a Texas Hold'em tournament. And the prize was a BMW for that. Oh, it was many years ago. And they've had another one, but a lot of times they host these tournaments for fundraisers, for individuals, for medical fundraisers, for baseball teams, things like that. So I've attended a couple of those as well, more than a couple. It was for a good cause. Kind of like what we do when we're at the Liberty machine. Bang, bang, bang. This is for the hospital. This is for the hospital.
Day. All right, Senator. Thank you.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Well, everybody, create a great day.
Thank you, Senator.
That's it.
That's it. There you go, Senator Telo Taitague, Republican, 910, saying that, yeah, I guess from what she's saying, Senator Moylan was not a